Definitely.
It's really an exercise in empathy and how they deal with each other. They're still showing each other love, and it's not a fight. It's not about that. It's about I'm trying to get you to see that I understand you, but can you also understand this? Oh wait, you're going through something. Let me be here for you, my brother. You should be so lucky. Whenever you get another chance like this.
He's going to go ahead and create something over here. Coming up on another act, I sit down with Aldis Hodge and talk about him bringing Jim Brown expertly to life in Regina King's new film, One Night in Miami, and about the roles that he's looking to portray moving forward. You know, a lot of your recent film choices have felt very intentional. You know how much I loved your work in Clemency, and then you chased that with Brian Banks. And we can even go back to Hidden Figures. And now, One Night in Miami. Is there some synergy there? Because they all seem to focus on, you know, the hell that Black folks have had to endure, you know, in this country in different time periods too.
Yeah. The synergy is brother want to keep working. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're absolutely right. I got to a place where I was not afraid of what would not come had I said no to a couple projects and waiting for the right thing, uh, waiting with purpose and intent. So when it came to these projects, I wanted to do something that reflected where my mind was, that reflected what I felt could be positive in terms of representing the Black culture, and something that I felt spoke to what my personal agenda is.
Was it hard for you to say no to certain roles and wait it out until the right perfect role came for you?
After a while, after you say no a couple times, after a while it becomes easier. But I've been in this business for a number of years, and I started saying no to things when I was like 14, when I didn't have money, when I couldn't to afford to say no, but it was worth it because I couldn't afford to sell my soul. Saying yes to the wrong thing can set you back um, more than saying no to the wrong thing can.
Well, you put your time in a really good project because, you know, I love One Night in Miami and I love your portrayal of Jim Brown. How did this project come to you, and what was the first thing that you did to get prepared to bring Jim to the big screen?
My team just told me that there was a great project coming up with Regina directing, and for me, the two things that pulled me in were Regina and the script. And as far as preparation, it really came down to understanding where his mindset was in this particular time frame. So I only studied where he was at in the 60s. I only did research and dug up things on him from this particular block of time. Really just wanted to study the mindset because I saw him as an entrepreneur, a man making a business move. And where we meet him in the film, he's in a transitional period, going from one industry to a completely new industry, which is always, risky, but he was trying to and successfully did control his
scene is so jarring, especially the kicker, your opening scene, especially the kicker. And it really sets the tone, quite frankly, for what we're about to consume the rest of this film. Tell me a little bit about that, because I don't know if that was a difficult scene for you to work through, because again, it really does set the pace of the movie.
I love a scene that is telling the truth, right? And if this is going to reflect much of the truth of the ignorance that people like to live in, let's do it. The harder it gets, the better the more I want to go into it, because there are a lot of people who are in denial about that being an actual reality, especially in this country, for how Black people are seen and treated on a regular basis on average. That's actually a story recounted from Jim in one of his autobiographies, but he, Kemp read that, and so he put it in the film. And Jim was down there meeting, a guy that his aunt wanted him to meet, old acquaintance, friend, supposedly a friend, and he realized at the end of it, he was like, "Oh, he ain't let me in the house," because they ain't let Black people out. Like, I'm gonna touch your furniture and it's gonna turn black. You should be so lucky. But that is what a lot of people go through, and still to this day, in so many ways, and they just don't realize how rampant racism is or what it actually looks like. The scene that took the most to nuance was probably the scene between Jim and Malcolm at the table, and again, it was right there, but if the tone was off, it could have been read completely differently. And at first, initially, we thought maybe the tone is like filled with a little bit more ego or braggadocio, right? Well, it's going back and forth. But Kingsley and I, we worked it out a couple of times, just rehearsed it a couple of times as they were setting up to shoot. And then we did it where the tone was just subdued. And it wasn't as, I'm not sure, it's like it was just chill. And Regina caught it. So we asked, hey, what did you think? How was that? She said it was beautiful. It's beautiful. Leave it at that. So we did it. And what I see when we watch it on film is that it's really an exercise in empathy and how they deal with each other. They're still showing each other love. And it's not a fight. It's not about that. It's about, I'm trying to get you to see that I understand you, but can you also understand this? Oh, wait, you're going through something. Let me be here for you, my brother. Like, let me, and I think it really exemplified what Regina was looking for in that she calls this film a love letter to Black men. So I think it represented that in a few different ways. So just nuancing that scene was very specific, but still a great experience.
What does it mean to you, these early citations that you all are getting as an ensemble and you individually for the work that you put in for this project? What does that mean to you?
It means a great deal. I think this is a wholly different experience than anything I've been fortunate to engage before, and just I'm very grateful for it. It's really cool, especially to see how we together are being acknowledged collectively. It shows that we really held each other down and held each other up, And I'm just really happy that people are receiving the movie in this way, because it could be the complete opposite. You don't want that,
What was it like, being directed now by the Oscar-winning Regina King?
What it was like was you don't want to be the weak link in her film. Okay, you do not want to mess up. I felt like this is a great privilege to be a part of someone's journey who is at the precipice of their greatness. To be a part of that journey for her. She has directed before, but this is her feature directorial debut. This is an amazing story in this way. To be a part of it, there's so much grandeur in the luck that we have been afforded with this project to have been attached that it's really hard to quantify. But with Regina, I know that she is completely different transitional stage of growth. How do you go from the top growth here to the top growth there? Like, yeah. And it's a wonderful thing to really observe and to watch. And I mean, whenever do you get another chance like this to really be a part of somebody's process and their journey? I know she made history with her debut at Venice Film Fest, being the first Black female director, and I feel like she's going to continue to make history when it comes to these acknowledgments and these award shows. And I'm not saying we do it for the awards; it's not about that. But when you get that recognition, and it's not to be discounted, And I feel like she's going to show out and impress a lot of people.
So what is a victory for you with this film? Like what is going to be that marker that makes you say this is exactly why I did this film?
Well, the biggest victory, which we have yet to see yet, is how it affects the culture, right? So I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg for the effect of this film. And I don't mean to say that with bias or conceit, because I'm attached to it, but just because of what I've been able to observe with the film as an audience member, seeing how it affected me. I think that we have a grand rise of different of different energy coming our way when it comes to how people receive it, especially given the time and what the message is. And Kemp Powers gave us a great gift in being able to deliver this particular message.
I love all of that. And I really, really love all of the choices that you've made so far in your career. What's next for you?
So what's next? Right now, I'm still in the middle of filming and co-producing City on a Hill for Showtime. Mm-hmm. Also in the middle of shooting Leverage 2.0. It's the reboot of Leverage. And then, yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's going to be a busy year. And then hopefully, if everything gets done, my brother Edwin Hodge, we are in the middle of developing and co-writing a film as an adaptation of a foreign film called Parallel. So looking forward to that.
Okay, so not sleeping is what you're not going to be.
I don't know what sleep is. Sleep is not. What is that word? I don't know what
What
that
is
is.
it? It's
Yeah,
not on the menu for Aldis
it is
Hodge.
not.